This is live, right? What's going on, everyone? This is Zim. You're on Chatting with Zim. We're on episode number 12 today. Today I thought I'd bring back a previous guest. There is the man of the hour right there. Let's try to beam in my cousin here, Torre Comics. You guys might remember him from episode 3, and we brought him on. While we beam him up, let's welcome everybody. Everybody, thank you for joining in today on episode 12 of Chatting with Zim. Oh, there he is, Mr. Man himself.
What's up, man?
Mic check, mic check. What's going on, dude? You hear me?
I can hear you.
Cool. Trying to get these damn things started.
Let's get it started.
Talking about the headphones, man. I'm telling you, I'm out of whack right now.
You got some new headphones there?
The what?
You got some new headphones?
Oh, hell no. These are old. These are ghetto, man. Sometimes I gotta mess with the volume to hear you guys.
Okay, you hear me?
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit? I gotta speak up louder?
There we go. No, it's just mine. I gotta have the wire at the right angle type of stuff.
Okay. How are you?
I'm good, bro. How you been?
All right, man. Busy?
How you been from the last time we spoke on Chatting with Zim?
Well, I've been cranking out artwork.
Yeah, dude, I could tell. So for everyone joining in, we got Juan today, Juan de la Torre. You can find him at De La Torre Comics. Let's welcome into Chatting with Zim. He Chicago native, for guys who don't know, and father illustrator / drawer. I don't know if you want me to call you an illustrator, an artist. Does it matter?
Yeah,
Same shit.
No, illustrator. Yeah, illustrator, artist. You have to believe that. You have to believe that what you call yourself, right? So.
There you go.
I got a business card, and I put my business card. I put a comic book artist.
Okay.
So, yeah.
That's a very good title. How's your day today, cuz?
So far, so good. Yeah.
Yeah. Busy running around?
Always, man. Always running around. Non-stop. I almost didn't make it, man.
Oh, hell no.
I almost didn't make it. I was gonna call you up and be like, "Oh, can you move me to a later date?" But I didn't want to do you like that.
Oh shit, like that, huh? It happens, dude. I mean, if stuff like that, stuff like that ever happens, man, let me know, man.
No problem, man. I don't want to let you down.
Okay, cool. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, in a nutshell, man, tell us. I'm like, my mind is somewhere else right now, so you gotta forget.
You're thrown off?
I got thrown off, man.
Well, since last time, I've been pumping out these Power Ranger sketches, and I mean, at first, like I mentioned before in the previous episode, on a daily basis, I would try to grind them out during my work day, and they would be a little. Well, in my opinion, they were maybe a bit sloppy, but that's because I try to work fast. But luckily, my wife gave me some advice. She's like, "Why don't you just take a little bit more effort and just do something a little bit cleaner?" And I said, "Okay." So I do take a little bit more time, clean it up a bit more so it could be more presentable. And I mean, the first one I did, following her advice, was that Dragon Zord.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they got a whole bunch of feedback, which I was like, well, I guess you gotta listen to your wife because she's right.
So sometimes they know best, man. Sometimes.
Yeah, because I guess she's one of those people that looks at it from
Yeah.
outside looking in, and they give you better feedback. And when she was right, I mean, the stuff I've for the last three or four, I said, well, the last three that I did was they're a little bit cleaner. I take a little bit more time, but I mean, they look much better. So
Yeah. So the last time we spoke was well, the last time we chatted on the show was the 17th. So we had just came off of the Inktober, and you were starting that Bruce Vember.
Bruce Vember, yeah.
Yeah. So, dude, you snapped on that as well, man. Uh, some of my
Yeah,
favorites were them pieces towards the end. Wolverine, Captain America. Knocking out the Green Ranger. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. The last ones I went a little bit more. I said because the first ones I wanted to use a lot of reference,
Okay.
so I would look up the reference pictures, and like I said, I try to pump them out during my workday, whenever I would have some downtime. But working from reference and then trying to rush myself. Sometimes, I mean, in my opinion, some of them do resemble Bruce, but then there was one specific one that I was like, man, his face is jacked up, but but hey, it's done, so it's in the past now. But towards the end, I said, you know what, I'm just gonna do. I'm just gonna be honest with myself and just gonna do my iconic, well, my comic book style. So that's when
Okay.
that's what the last ones were more like comic book, more cartoony a bit. But yeah, that's what I had in mind towards the end. I was like, man, there's only so much I can do off of reference, and it was
Okay.
hard to find reference pictures where I wanted him in a certain position. But towards the end, that's what I ended up doing. But I mean, if I would have listened to my wife before then, if she would have told me before, maybe they would have looked a lot more presentable. But still,
No,
this is pretty decent.
don't knock yourself too hard. I mean, the work you were doing towards the end of Bruce Vember, it was dope, dude. Even the beginning of it, just your sketch work alone is pretty on point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it was pretty
Yeah.
fun because you would look up reference pictures and I would read up some information about what I was looking up. Like I didn't know Bruce Lee in his teenage years in Hong Kong. I didn't know they called him, what is it, King Gorilla. So that
Okay.
was a neat, yeah, that was a neat something neat to find out.
Oh, sweet. So learning while you're drawing, man.
Yeah, exactly. Learning while you're researching. That was pretty
Yeah,
fun.
there you go. Oh, that's always a plus, man. That always helps.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
let's get into the Power Ranger. Where did this idea for your Power Rangers come about? Wanting to do the Power Ranger series for this month.
Well, I was a fan when I was a kid, and I wanted to follow up with after December. Now I wanted to find something that would rhyme with December. I was gonna
Yeah.
have like hashtag Ranger December, but then I didn't go with the hashtag. I got a bit thrown off, and I was like, okay, well, I'm not gonna hashtag anything because I already missed the beginning. But
Yeah.
after I started, I was just, let me just try to finish out this month with our Ranger stuff. So, and plus I was thinking, oh well, let me take weekends off, so I don't pressure myself too much over the weekends. That's why I don't post
Oh
anything.
shit.
I'm not
Oh,
posting
that's
anything
good.
on the weekends. Yeah.
Oh,
But,
that's cool, man. That's totally acceptable. I understand.
yeah, but I'm already
So,
thinking
so
about yeah, I'm already thinking
you got
what am I gonna post tomorrow. So
okay. Sweet, man. Always looking forward to that, dude.
yeah,
No
you got
days
any
off, man.
you got any ideas for tomorrow?
Dude, always, dude. All you gotta do is ask. Well,
Yeah, let me know.
we'll talk a little bit after the show, if or hell, even if some of the audience here, if they could help out with some cool ideas that you guys want to see,
Yeah, some suggestions. That would be great.
maybe make that possible. Remember, it's all Mighty. Is it all just Mighty Morphin related?
Yeah, whatever. Anything Ranger related. Anything cool looking. I'll try
So
to make it look cool.
it's kind of good, you know. It brings us a little bit into the segment, you know, towards the beginning where Wonder Woman. Nah, dude, has to be Power Rangers related, guy.
Maybe January would be could be Wonder Woman.
Yeah, yeah, or closer to her, closer to the debut of the movie part two in
When's it
'84.
coming out?
Man, beats me right now, dude.
I
Yeah, dude,
don't
I got
know.
my
Ask
mind is so cluttered right
ask,
now. It's
ask World of Wonder Woman. I bet he knows.
hey, Vinny, well, when is that Wonder Woman coming out next year? July. So there you go.
Oh, July.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
that's
Wow,
cool.
that's a long way from now. I thought it was like
So
next month.
oh no, that would suck, dude. It'd be like, oh shit. So I
Yeah.
want to get into a little bit of this pop culture stuff, man. Do you follow what's going on in the news with the whole Power Rangers stuff? They're getting a reboot.
Uh, I didn't even know there was gonna be a reboot. No,
No. Yeah,
no.
dude. I think Hasbro has bought the license for that, and they're gonna go ahead and redo it for either 2020 release, late release, or else 2021.
Okay.
So that's
Do
something
they
to
have
look forward to.
people in mind for the cast that you know about?
From what I know they have the director. I can't think of him at this moment right now, but yeah, I just don't want to say anything else, man. Like I said, I'm not in the right state of mind. But the director, I forgot what movies he directed, but they got him. And I think they're gonna start filming. If they're not filming now, you know, towards the end of this year, I heard.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Anything you're looking forward to as far as these superhero movies in the future?
Well, that Power Ranger movie would be cool. I'd like to see I'd like to see the Zords resemble more like the original Zords. I mean, not that that last movie wasn't cool, but I'd like to see something more related to the original character design. That would be cool, but like more realistic looking.
Yeah,
Because I always think back to that other Power Ranger movie that came out in the '90s. Was it the '90s when they had
yeah.
the
That
Ivan
ugly ass
Ooze?
CGI.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, that was horrible. When you look back at it, but I always liked the suits they had in that movie. They were pretty
Okay.
dope.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's what I thought they were gonna go with for this time, but they
So
failed us on this last one.
it was completely way out of left field, right? It's like, what is
Man,
this?
they dropped the ball heavy, man.
Yeah,
Uh,
man.
you a big you're a movie fan?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't watched many movies as of late, but I am a big movie fan.
Did you
Mhm.
did you catch the X-Men, the Phoenix one?
No, I haven't. I haven't seen that one either. I saw some clips of it on YouTube, but a lot of people were saying that it's a very big disappointment. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you agree with that one?
It's not what I expected it to be. I mean, it's always cool doing, watching, just watching the characters live, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I saw the clip when the girl got the Phoenix in her when she was in outer space.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, 'cause I guess they were trying to rescue some astronauts or something,
yeah,
and
yeah.
the Phoenix power went in her. But I'm like, it didn't catch my attention. I mean, if there were a real live action movie with the X-Men and they resemble the '90s X-Men, then I would be totally on board with that. That would be fucking sick.
Damn, that
Like
that
if
would
there
be
was
real.
Yeah, like if there was a Cyclops and he had that brown jacket, that brown leather jacket he wears with the blue and the blue and the gold, and he's got the you know the opening on the top with his hair like that. And
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, that would be
yeah.
dope.
I actually had a conversation with somebody the other day where I think it might have been Lewis, our cousin,
Uh-huh.
uh, where it's like that's what we want as fans, but we don't never get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
I
watching
mean,
all the original suits and stuff.
yeah, you take what you can get, I guess, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Like for example, I think DC has more of an homage to the old classics than like Marvel, because Marvel's always here. I don't know, man. The way their suits, you know what I'm saying? I mean, besides the
Yeah,
Avengers, uh,
yeah, exactly.
but as far
Always
as X Men
revamping
goes,
stuff. Yeah, I mean, all these X-Men movies have been a total letdown, more in my opinion. Except for that, I was rewatching Logan not too long ago, and
yeah, oh
I mean,
yeah,
all the parts where he stabs people in the head with the claw. I mean, that's
what?
pretty. When he stabs like people in the head with the claws.
Oh, dude,
Yeah, that's pretty sick.
yeah, my daughter actually likes that.
Really, she seen Logan?
Yeah, yeah, we watched it a few times. She likes the X-23.
Yeah, yeah. She's brutal.
Oh yeah, yeah, she's bad.
Yeah.
So, tell me more about your commissions, man. For people that don't know, you're starting to move towards commissions and prints now, which is always a fantastic thing to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, I've always been open for commissions. It says so on my profile there, and I've had a few people hit me up
Oh
not too
yeah,
long ago.
nice,
So
sweet.
yeah, so hopefully I can get those sent out, and hopefully I'm sure they'll be satisfied because
Cool, man.
yeah. So hopefully we can get more commissions coming in. Come on,
Cool.
let's go.
I word on the street is that you got a little special something going on, man. Something completed.
Oh yeah, I finally finished. I finally have a physical copy of my first comic produced by Dilatory Comics.
Sweet.
Like, let me show you. Yeah, called Super Boots. Written and illustrated by me. So it's I'm pretty proud of finally completing it. And you were also a big help in me, you know, accomplishing this goal. You helped me out with the printing, but I mean, I'm gonna. This is an homage, actually. It's based on my father and how he grew up, but it's also mixed in with some fantasy stuff, with some. I mean, some a lot of fictitious stuff, but some fun stuff. And it's got some action in there. It's got some gore. It's got some love, a little bit of everything. I think it's fun. It's a fun book. But
Cool. Now,
yeah, finally it's done. It's in English, but it's in Spanglish because there's some Spanish and English going on in there. But I'm also producing a Spanish version for all those. Because we have a lot of family who only read and speak Spanish, and I don't want to leave them out, so I'd also have a copy for all those just Spanish speaking people out there. But
oh,
yeah,
dope,
that's
dope. After this 2020 comes, we're gonna circulate it around the world. It's gonna be in
for
50
real.
different languages.
Yeah, I'm gonna research some publishers out there and see if I could get it fully published and maybe distribute it. Maybe put it on sale. and see
You
where it
know,
goes. You know.
that's dope, dude. So I mean, first off, dude, that's that's fucking wicked, bro. I'm actually proud of you for completing this. You know, it's a step closer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. It's
Um,
like yeah,
you
it's
know,
like
I think,
that saying I've heard before. If, you got to be you got to be in it to win it. You have
damn
to.
right.
I mean, if you want to reach somewhere positive with what you're doing, it's just keep doing it. Keep learning from your
Yeah,
mistakes. Just keep pumping it out. I mean, eventually, you work hard enough, you do it long enough, something good will come out of it. You know, a lot of times you're like, man, why am I even doing this? Because a lot of times it's discouraging, but those are the times, those are the humps you have to get past. When you get past those little humps, it's like, all right, I'm glad I got past that negative mindset. So now let's just keep doing it because I mean, I thought I wasn't going to be able to finish it. It was hard, but now I did, and now you feel good about yourself because you actually finished something. So, yeah. After I printed the first book and I
yeah.
binded it together, I sat down and I just read it, and I was like laughing at myself. It's like it's pretty entertaining. It's pretty fun. You know, I think it's pretty good. And now, not to boast or glorify myself, but I think it's pretty entertaining. But there you go. You got yourself a copy also. Yeah. That's
I
not
had to
a
beat up
autograph copy.
I had to beat up the dude that was carrying these. You know,
Oh
but
yeah.
yeah, yeah, I had to beat him up for one, dude. I kind of snatched his whatever he was carrying in his hands, and I got a hold of one of your books here.
There you
So,
go.
dude, from a perspective looking out into your book, dude, like I said, proud of you, dude. Proud of you, cuz for real.
Thanks,
That's
man. Thank you.
it, that's a motivation for me, as it is a motivation for I think everybody else who draws and who comes to the show and you know he joins it and follows it for the same reason. You know, I think we all out there, especially like the comic book fan artists. You know, I think that's not everyone's goal, but a
Yeah.
large majority, you know, have yourself published, printed, have something to show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Exactly. Thank you.
nice, nice.
Which,
And
did you read the story? Did you read it?
I definitely read it, but before we go into further depth into that, we are gonna go for a commercial break. No, I'm just joking. We ain't got no commercials here. No,
you got
before,
anything
before
on? You got anything you want to sponsor? This is brought to you by
no, no,
Sharpie.
no, no. If only, dude, that would have been dope.
All
Anybody,
right.
I'll take anybody right now. Condoms,
Yeah. A
candy, I
cool,
don't care.
bust out with your Coors Light and take us. Take,
You
brought to you
know,
by Coors Light.
I mean, I don't always get thirsty, but when I do, I reach for purified water.
There you go. There you
Mm.
go. Exactly.
No,
That's what we want.
but in all seriousness, though, tell me, tell me your process, dude. Tell me, what did you learn from this little adventure of doing it all by yourself? You know, a self-published kind of thing.
Well, a lot of patience, extremely, a whole lot of patience. Because it took me a year to finish, to complete it. It took me a year from when I started. Actually, the idea kind of kicked in like around October of last year, October or
Okay.
November of last year. Yeah, and that all came about from a podcast I was listening to because back in last year I was following this. I've mentioned this book before. It was called Border Town. It was written and drawn by Latino creators, but the artist was Ramon Villalobos. And I've heard him on a podcast, and he was saying that when he first started, he would he made mini comics, and he's like, I would just take an 8.5 by 11, fold it in half, and just draw on those halves, and those were your pages. And I was like, you know what? I'm kind of tight on time, but if I can do that, I think I can manage it. So that's what I did. I took scratch paper from work, actually, but they have a lot of paper they throw out. So I would take the paper and just use the back of the paper because it was blank, and I would just rough out my ideas. Well, first, actually, I wrote out a script, just something simple. Yeah, I would. It took me like a month maybe to just write it out and just think about stuff that I could relate to, stuff about my father. And then after that, when I got the script ready, when I felt it was okay, for me, it felt right. I said, okay, let me rough it out. When I had that scratch paper, I would rough out the layouts, how I would lay out the panels, where the word balloons would be, and I roughed out, all of my pages, and then I would go back and forth, go back to the script, go back to the rough, and just add or take away, but then I finally finished roughing out all the pages, and then I said, okay, then now I have to let me go in and go over it with the pencil and just tighten up the lines.
Okay.
So same thing, during my workday, I would always carry it with me. I would have this little folder, and I'd have all my pages in there, folded up, and whenever I would have a spare minute, I'd bust it out and just tighten up a page, tighten up a page. And some days some days I was like, oh my God, this is gonna take forever. I'm like, oh
Like, no.
man, I got 20 pages to go. Oh God, what am I gonna finish? Those are the times you get discouraged, but then you're like, oh. Then I think I heard Bruce Lee, one of his quotes, and he said, when you wanna, I don't know the exact quote, but it was something like, I mean, if you're going to reach towards something, every little bit counts.
Okay.
So if I had a little line here, a little line there, and then I have to stop because I got to do something else, I would tell myself it's okay. It's little by little, it's going to build itself up. Before you know it, because time flies.
Oh,
Time
yeah.
flies by. You in a blink of an eye, we're like old and gray haired, and time flies. But now it's a year later, and here we are. The same thing with the ink and the lettering and the word bubbles. Just a little bit at a time, a little bit at a time. But when it comes to the process, it was first the rough, then I tighten up the line, and then I would try to find the placement for my word bubbles, where all the text would go.
Okay.
And then finally ink it, because I wanted it black and white, because to carry around what am I going to color it with, colored pencils or markers or watercolor? To carry that around at work would have been more difficult, but yeah, I just decided on just black and white. The most difficult part for me was the word bubbles, putting in the text.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I was like, maybe I could take that extra time and scan in all my pages and type it out.
Mm-hmm.
But I decided I was gonna hand letter it and make the bubbles, all hand drawn. And that's what I did for my. That's what I did, and it looks a bit rough, but it's completed. I like how it turned out, because I said to myself, you busted your ass and you finally finished it. Maybe later on I can like redo it again and make it look cleaner. Maybe if I get it published or something like that, and make a better version of it. But for now, it is what it is, and it's done. Bottom line, it's done. So, and I'm already thinking about the book number 2. Yeah, that's it. Yep. Check it out. See? that's the logo right there. Yeah. And
So,
this will be it's got a symbolic meaning, but it's I'm not gonna reveal that yet. See, I'm gonna have you wonder
ah,
what
man,
it means. I'm
you
gonna
know
keep you
what? And
wondering what it means, you know?
you know what? And that's good. I like that, bro. Because that
Yeah,
was my
it
next
has
question. I'm like, what's the symbology
yeah,
behind these?
yeah. It's not gonna get revealed yet until like book number 6 or something like that. Cause
Damn, holding
yeah, 'cause
back, dude.
yeah, 'cause my plans. I mean, I already outlined how many books I want to make. So in my mind, I have like 12 books I want. I'm not even calling them issues because I'm not. I don't know. I just don't want to call them issues. I just want to call them books because if I call it an issue, I expect myself to make an issue every month.
Okay.
But I'm not gonna. I don't want to put that kind of pressure on myself. So I'm gonna call them books. That way I could take my time and book 2 will be out so and so, and book 3 so and so. But if it's just something to keep me going. Keep me motivated. Keep your mind working because
Now,
I have a lot more ideas other than this that I want to produce, and that's something more down in I mean more in the future that I plan on accomplishing also.
now from everything that you learned so far, um, what do you think it's gonna be? Something that you could say for book two, like, oh, you know what? I don't have to stress about this. This was the biggest obstacle I had in book one, and I faced that, so now I know how to do it for book two. Well, what would you say that was your biggest obstacle?
The inking was trying to find the right ink to make it look crisp and
Okay.
clean. Because at first, the first couple of pages were a bit rough. I was trying to decide on what kind of panels I wanted, what kind of style the panels I wanted to ink them in. Because there's some panels where the panels look a bit rough, but then I I heard another artist I follow, Danny Warren Johnson. Some advice he mentioned in one of his podcasts that like if he mentioned he uses a lot of '08 microns
Okay.
because if you use anything less than that, like when you get it printed out somewhere, it's not as defined. If you have an '08 or higher, that when you print it out, it looks good. It prints well. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna use a '08 micron to ink this. So I went out and I purchased one, and that's what I used to, ink most of it. And then I also used a brush pen, a micron brush pen. Because also I'm trying to learn from Danny Warren Johnson because his style is awesome and he uses a lot of brush. So I figure, I'm gonna use some brush pen on these panels also to ink some. Brush pens give you cool effects sometimes, like if you wanna do like speed, like whooshes or something. Like if somebody's like whooshing like that, the brush pen gives you that cool effect for
Okay.
like speed. Yeah. So, but yeah, I learned more inking techniques. So I mean that's something that I think in the next book I would have. It would be easier for me to do, and also with the texting, with the text, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the next time probably will take that extra step and scan them in and maybe do them digitally, or I could try to take some more time and try to hand text the the text. Maybe work on my hand texting skills.
There you go.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, what you have now? It's pretty dope, dude. I'm digging it. You know what I'm saying? I think with what you did, as far as hand texting, that everything you did a great job, dude.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of ideas in my mind that I have a lot of stories that I want to produce. I have another. Let me give you a little a little peek at a little peek about what ideas I have for in the future. Like for example, I also have a story based on my wife because she had a pretty rough upbringing when she was a kid. She grew up in Mexico, and she was one of 6 children, and it was pretty rough growing up, you know. And she had to learn most things the hard way. So I made this character based off of her. It's gonna be a little girl, and her name's gonna be Ellie, and it's just how based. It's just gonna be like how she lives, you know, throughout her days in Mexico, like confronting bullies, you know, bigger than her because Ellie's gonna be a tough character. She's gonna be a little maybe like 8-year-old girl, but she's gonna be tough, like tough as nails.
She's gonna be in the book though.
Yeah,
Or
well,
is that gonna
that's
be a
another.
separate?
Maybe she'll make a sneak peek in one of these. What do you call it? Cameo. Maybe she'll make a cameo on these next upcoming
Cool.
books, but she's gonna have her own book down the line.
Okay, same universe though, huh?
Exactly, the same universe. Yeah,
Man,
that's what I mean. But she's gonna be
man, dope.
she's gonna be a fun character to write and draw because to come up with stories about this little girl who's tough as nails, it's just gonna be pretty dope. And I also have like this type of an anthology thing I have in going on. I've already written it out. I've already roughed it out. Hey, what's up, Dello Halo? And I've already written it out, roughed it out, and
Dang.
I just have to tighten up the pencils and add all the text. I mean, I have all the dialogue right now. I know that it's called it's gonna be called one shot. You know, like one shot.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah.
a one shot? You know what a one shot is?
Like
In comic book?
that's like, yeah, one shot. I know of one shot.
No, like a one shot in comic books is like
Oh yeah,
one.
yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, no,
It's
I
just
know.
like
I got you.
it's just like one book for this
Yeah,
one character. And that's it. Like a standalone story, one
yeah,
story, and
yeah.
that's it.
Oh,
So the book's gonna be called Juan Shot instead of one shot. It's gonna be called Juan Shot. You know,
one
because
shot.
when I was a kid, the kids used to say my name. They used to say my name Juan, but then they used to make fun of my name. They used to be like Juan, like Juan. So I kind of So I kind of played off the names and be Juan Shot. I have
It's
like
a Juan shot from Little Torre Comics.
exactly. So
Ah,
in
dude, I
this
like that, dude.
so in this book, I have multiple characters. I will say like a total of maybe 6 or 7 characters. And it's like it starts off with one character. It's his story, but then it goes off to the next character, then it's his story.
Yeah.
So like each book, or maybe I could just throw it all in there. I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna split them up into separate books or if I'm just gonna pack them all in. But it's gonna be like the origin story, or just like one story of each character, and each character is. I don't want to reveal all the characters because I don't want nobody to steal my ideas. Not that anybody's gonna steal my ideas anyway. But it's
They're
gonna
all.
be it's gonna be dope, man.
What else you got?
Exactly.
Wait.
Yeah,
What did
man.
you just say?
Yeah, man. I got that. I got that in the works, and I also have this other story that my brother wrote out for me maybe 2 or 3 years ago.
Okay.
It's a zombie story, and it's based off of a character that based off like where I work at, but it's like a zombie story,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's a fun story also. And I also have that roughed out already. It's
Oh
also,
shit, nice, dude.
it's just that I just gotta pump out I gotta focus on like okay now I'm gonna focus on this, and I'm gonna let me tighten up these lines here and just complete each page. But it's just like I have to focus on one first. But maybe in 2020 I'm gonna challenge myself and see if I could. I'm gonna take. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take multiple pages, fold them in half, just the way I did this Super Boots book, and I'll be like, okay, let me draw out this page for this story. Then let me take the next page, draw out the first page for the next story, and I'm gonna see if I could pump out like 4 books in that 1 year.
Oh wow,
That's
dude.
what I'm thinking about, challenging myself and trying to do that.
That's an awesome challenge, bro. That's
Yeah, because what I learned about drawing it this size, just folding it in half like that, it it's a good size for me to work because it allows me to complete pages faster. I mean,
yeah.
I could take the 11 by 17, comic artist pages and try to make it really professional looking, but that's very time consuming. I mean, it would look dope because you could put a lot more detail in it, but it's very hard work. And I mean, I know I can do it, but I can't be carrying 11 by 17 pages at work. And
And when you finally, if you ever decide you want to release one of those, you can call those books los gordos, libros
what's that?
gordos, los
What do
gordos,
you mean? Los
fat
gordos,
books.
what's that?
Yeah, like
The
when if
fat
you
book.
ever decide to release the actual full size
Oh,
on a
uh-huh.
comic, since these are the
Yeah,
mini ones, the other
yeah,
ones would
these are
be
the main.
the gordos.
Oh, exactly. This size is actually called the digest size. I didn't know that, but it's this size here. It's called digest size. That's what it's called. But there's more to come. So, oh, and I also have that other collaboration with our cousin, with our family member.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
also, yeah. So yeah, I have a lot of stories coming up. Lot to keep my mind busy. A
definitely. How
lot
do
to work
you
with.
how do you how do you feel posting like daily? During the weekday. Uh, how's that become to you? Is it something that's become like, oh, okay, it's not that bad, or is it? Do you find yourself kind of like struggling, like, oh, I got to release something, I got to draw something up.
Now after doing it for 2 months straight, going on three now, it kind of becomes a habit.
Hmm.
Now it feels like it's like I need not to pressure myself, but it feels like I need to post something so I can feel good, like I accomplished something, like I
Okay.
accomplished something on a daily basis. Because I
Yeah.
remember when I was in college. I remember when I was in college and I was in this some computer class, but you'd have to like draw what you were gonna 3D model in the computer. And there was a teacher. He asked us, well, let's see how much you really want to be doing this the art thing. And he asked us, he asked the students, I mean, do you guys draw something every day? And a lot of them would say, no, not really. And he said, well, you don't really want it. If you don't do it every day,
Yeah.
you don't really want this. So that always stuck with me. But after I graduated, and I kind of forgot about art, I kind of forgot about that. But now that I'm doing it more on a daily basis, it's like I always remember what that guy said. It's like you got to do it at least a little bit a day.
Yeah.
That's exactly how I finished this book. Just a little bit a day helps because in the end, it's like a big puzzle. In the end, it's before you know it, it's finished. It's completed like a big Lego piece. It's
Yeah.
before you know it, it's done. And then you're like, oh man, where did the time go? Did I do this? Did I really finish this? And you're like, oh yeah, it's right here. It's in my
Yeah.
hands.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, now I got to figure out what to do with it. That's all. So, but let's see if we can get it published and get it distributed. That's the next plan.
Yeah,
But
that'll be definitely I think next some of the next steps.
yeah, I'm actually following. So I've listened to this. I mean, I listen to a lot of podcasts, but when it comes to independent creators and comic creators that I like. Not too long ago, I found out about this independent creator. His name is Javier Hernandez,
Okay.
and he independently released his own comic. Like just like this, the way I did back in the '90s, like '98, called El Muerto. And
Oh yeah, you were telling me about him.
yeah, they even made a movie about his comic book, like in 2007 or 2006. I didn't know the guy who played his character was remember Fez from that '70s show?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Fez was the main
What?
character. Yeah, Fez was the guy was El Muerto. I was like, for real? And
That's
I've
good.
never
That's
seen
good.
that. I've never seen that movie, but from what I've heard, it was a low budget independent film,
Yeah.
and I think you can get it on eBay or something or Amazon. I don't know, but it sounds. I would like to see it. It sounds
You know what? I'll definitely I'll keep that in mind for after the show. A little later, I'll try to find it. I usually stream my movies, from the
Yeah,
website or something. So if
yeah.
I find it, I'll definitely send you the link so you can watch it on your phone.
Oh, cool. Yeah, but
Don't don't don't
yeah,
quote
but
me on
I'm
that, but
trying to. But that was Javier Hernandez. He was a really good influence on being like, if you want to really do something with your ideas, just go ahead and do it. Just work hard at it and just do it. And oh, look, Talahilo says he saw it. What is it? Was it good? What do you think? Was it a good movie? Let's see if he.
let's see his response.
Yeah, but yeah, Javier Hernandez. I've listened to him on numerous podcasts, and I like the things. Well, he kind of because he's Latino. He's a Latino creator, and he's kind of like us. He was born in the U.S. with Latino parents, and he's a pretty cool inspiration. He's a cool guy. He actually follow on Instagram, and he follows my stuff also, and I get blown away when he comments on my art. I'm like, oh, pretty dope.
Nice.
Yeah,
That is
so
dope.
that's
Yeah,
something strive to be like. He's a good role model, I guess. You could say
awesome.
that.
Halo says it was good,
Okay. Gotta
and
check it out.
yeah, dude, and just I mean, I think I said it to you before, dude. On a personal level, but I mean, just to let the world know, as far as role models go, bro, well, you're one of mine, dude.
Oh, thank you.
You've always been since we were shorties, dude. Just watching you at like family reunions and parties and whatnot.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, dude. You know what I'm saying? Just checking out your arts and shit. It's like, oh
Yeah.
fuck, I want to draw too. And so a lot of what I have, a lot of the reasons why I'm here is mainly because of you as well, dude.
Oh, man, thanks. I'm
So
blown away by that. That's dope, man. Thank you, man.
yeah, dude. So honestly, just big inspiration for me too, and just seeing how you crunch with time, like a lot of us artists are, running around like chickens.
Yeah, man.
I mean, the fact that you actually got it, it's pretty dope. So I've always loved seeing your work and always here to promote you, man, any way I can.
Thanks a bunch, man. I'm glad somebody. I mean, I have a small circle that supports me. That that says your stuff is good, you're amazing, and a lot of times you're like, man, am I really? But you gotta believe. You have to believe that. You gotta believe in yourself and be like, yeah, you gotta
Well,
talk.
you
You
can't
have
believe
to
in
say,
yourself too hard.
yeah. Well, you gotta say nice things to yourself. You gotta be like, man, I did a good job today. Pat yourself on the back, because that's the kind of stuff that keeps you going. That's the kind of stuff that's like, your stuff is good, man. Just keep doing it. So but I'm kind of blown away because I mean I've heard a lot of people tell me, you got some talent, man, but what are you doing, man? And I'm
Oh
like,
shit.
I
Yeah,
don't know, man,
I've heard
but
that
just keep
growing up
doing
as
it.
well.
Yeah, but just keep doing it. And I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna keep doing it. And sometimes I'm like, I'm gonna stop, but like, no, I can't stop.
No, that's
'Cause
that. I mean, it's cool that I mean, it's cool that we haven't stopped. You know, us that we're always grinding and hustling and just doing it for the love,
yeah,
and you know what I mean. Um,
yeah, man.
but one of the things is like, the world we're living in now. So we're connected with our fingertips. So I think. I mean, tech is a double-edged sword, but I think that the tech we have, and if we know how to use it correctly, I think we could accomplish our goals. Not just you or me, but everybody else, especially whatever game you're in, art, whatever. I don't care what it is, music, whatever. You
Yeah,
know?
exactly. Yeah, if you that's what you like, just keep doing it.
Definitely,
As
dude.
long as it's not hurting anybody or it's it's not a negative thing, just keep doing it. Just
And,
keep creating positive things. That's
yeah, yeah.
in the end. That's what we really are. We're creators. We make stuff out of nothing. It's a blank piece of paper, and before you know, it's full of lines, and it makes an image, and you're like, wow, you just created something that didn't exist before. So
Um, if there's, well, we're down to like the last 7 minutes, brother. If there's one thing that you learned that you could pass down as a tip to anybody else who's trying to do their own little comic book, in the works, or is thinking about doing it, man, what would be your number one tip?
well, in the words of Javier Hernandez, like what he said, you gotta just do it. It's there's
This
a
ain't
lot of
Nike here,
times that,
bro.
huh?
I said this is not Nike here.
Well, yeah,
But
when I heard, from what I heard on the podcast, somebody said it to him, and then he said it to everybody else. But it all comes out to the head. You just gotta make it. You just have to make it. You just have to grind it out and make it.
just keep
Uh,
pushing them.
just keep pushing, man. And
Cool.
whenever you feel that little voice in your head or that little pain in your body that says, "Oh, I just want to stop. This is too painful. I'm looking at it and I'm not happy with it." But if you get past that little hump, it's all worth it. 'Cause that's those little moments is that stops a lot of people. I think that little moment stopped me back after college. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, it's like forget this. I'm not going anywhere. What am I doing? I just stopped. But luckily, I met somebody. His name is Dantuan Brock. If you're out there, well, he's not on social media, but still, I'm gonna give him props because he lit that little light bulb in me. He said, "Oh man, you're out stupid. Let's make a comic." I'm like, "Cool." And it's like he wrote out a story. We wrote out I did some character designs. We were gonna do it, but unfortunately, life got in the way, and he moved away. I moved away, and we just lost touch of each other. But in my anthology that I told you about, his
Yeah.
character his character and is actually one of the characters in my book in that Juan shot. He's actually in
Mm.
there. A character me and him made up. But yeah, he lit that little light bulb in me, and from then on, that was back in 2008. From then on, I've always had it in my head that I'm gonna create something. I'm gonna make a book. I'm gonna make a comic book. I'm gonna do something. It's been more than 10 years, and finally I finished the book. And this is just the beginning. I'm just gonna pump out more books, more stories, because you just have to finish it. You gotta do it. You got these ideas in you lurking around, and they all want to come out. You just gotta get them out. Because if you don't, then you're gonna feel like, man, I got this talent and I'm just gonna waste it by
Yeah.
doing nothing. But that's not the case. You just got to do it. You know, you read your story and you're like, things. A lot of times you want to perfect things, but nothing's perfect. You know, still you don't want to write this horrible story, but you want to make it as. If you, I think, in my opinion, if it feels good, then it's right. Then art wise, you know, if it
Got
feels
it.
good to you, then that's it. And just keep
Hey,
going with it. Just don't dwell on it because you're gonna just go in circles in your head and you're never gonna finish anything. But yeah, man, just do it. You know, just bring that out and do it.
sweet, dude. Well, I'm definitely digging this fire underneath your butt here, man, and this passion that you got going, dude. I'm definitely loving this energy from you, Juan.
Yeah.
Once again, man, unfortunately, time has caught us up. Uh, I will be on tomorrow. I got 2 shows tomorrow to do. 1 o'clock, and the other one is at 2:30. After that, I might do a little Christmas thing at towards the end of the evening, so like around 8, 9, 8 to 10, I might be on. And
Cool.
dude, if you're on, dude, hop in and we'll chat a little bit more. You know, that's gonna be an extra bonus. I want to call it the Zimma bonus show. The Zim bonus show. You know what I mean?
It's a bonus.
The
That sounds
Christmas.
good.
Yeah. The extra. The
That's a
Christmas
fun way
show.
to say it. It's in bonus.
Zim bonus show. It's a Zim bonus. and dude,
Thanks,
cuz
Stella.
man, yeah. Thank you guys for joining in, cuz man. Always a pleasure to have you on. This is definitely not the last time. We'll definitely check back into New Year.
Yeah.
And make it knock a few out of the way, and then we'll have you back on. See how things are
Dope.
going. We'll talk more about December and how the Power Ranger thing went.
Yeah.
Everybody else, remember, follow Juan at Torre Comics. He has prints. He has commissions open. Make sure you
Yep.
hit him up. Stay tuned for book 2. Right now it's book 1, Super Boots.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if you thought about it, but maybe you could offer some sort of like little files where you could sell it, you know, for people who might want to read it, you know, not exactly have a physical print, but who's interested. That's
Good
an
idea.
idea. Yeah, that's a good idea. Think about
Yeah,
it and see if we could get it out there. If you do, let me know. I'll promote it. And that's how it is, guys. One love from everybody.
Oh,
And
okay.
Thanks again, Juan. I'll talk to you right now after it. Guys, stay tuned. In about half an hour, we got Zombie Taco coming up. This has been episode number 12 of Chatting with Zim, guys, and we'll talk to you later. Come back in half an hour. Thanks,
All right.
Juan, again. Thanks again,
Thanks,
cuz.
guys.
And thank you, everybody, for tuning in.
All right. Thanks, man.
It's been episode 12. We're done. Ska! Peace out.